Hello guys, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are watching this video from, or the time you are watching this video. You are welcome to Agbedo TV as usual. What I want to talk about today is nothing other than the issue between the current governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, and his deputy, Right Honourable Philip Shaibu. There's a saga out there that these two guys, are having some misunderstanding. And this misunderstanding is supposed to be off the table now, but we could see mostly people from Edo State that this squabbles, this sort of hula baloo, or this misunderstanding is still very prevalent. It's not going out, it's not going away. And it is the right time for myself to make my contribution, that it is time that they have to sheathe the sword. I am not here to ignite the issue between both of them, but I am here calling for peace. Because when there is peace, a state can be governed very well. The development of a state is ensured when the atmosphere is peaceful. So what many of us should understand is that in life, there are some desirables that are not achievable. And there are some achievables that are not desirable. So it cannot be as green as anything. There's always, the darkness before light. And no matter how the case may be, when you know the root cause of a particular problem, you know how to make recommendations, or whatever recommendations you want to make or advice you want to make. You just have to make it, because in this case, this is something that concerns Edo State. We want the development of that state. That is what is at stake, the development of Edo State. So when there is trouble, when there is wahala in a state, you see, they cannot just bend down and make sure work for the state. We are not interested in individual. We are interested in the development, in the governance of Edo State, to make sure that we really enjoy the dividends of democracy to the end. Because if you look at what people did, the sacrifices that people did to make sure that this current administration, PDP, led by Governor Obaseki, it was a lot. People took a lot of risk. Some people spent a lot of money to make sure that we have this combination, this duo, Obaseki and Shaibu, to make sure that they retain that second term. And it should also be like that. So first of all, how did we get here? Let me just look a bit in retrospect of how both the governor and his deputy, how they got to where they are. Because we know that in 2016, when they were campaigning after ex-governor Adams Oshomole has his term for 8 years. That was from 2008 to 2016. Yes, 2008 to 2016, 8 years, 2 terms. So Governor Obaseki became the governor of Edo State with his deputy, and with Philip Shaibu. Both of them were there, and they had their time. They've had a very good relationship for a very good 4 years. And then the next election, which of course, it was supported by Adams Oshomole. Then the next election was very tough. That everybody was now involved to make sure that Godwin Obaseki wins again, and together with Philip Shaibu. And this election, everybody could remember what happened. It was just like a presidential election. That Obaseki and Philip Shaibu, they were there under APC, and because of what happened, that they now have to move to another party, PDP, to campaign again. It was a tug of war, and we know the wahala between Obaseki and Adams Oshomole before as well. Okay, now from what we heard, or from what is on table, when PDP now agreed to lend a hand to or give a platform to Obaseki, Obaseki was to go alone, and they said, okay, we will give you the ticket as the governor, but we, the legacy PDP, we are going to bring out our deputy. But I think Obaseki insisted that, okay, I can't go there without my deputy, which is Right Honourable Philip Shaibu. And he heard to that, and you know, they did a very thorough campaign, you know, with the help of Chief Dan Obe, and they actually won. And since then, they have been in this Osadebe avenue together, and they have been, you know, it's you know, Edo State is an example of good governance in Nigeria, and based on the relationship between the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, and Philip Shaibu. Okay, now, what is the bone of contention here? Why this Wahala? I haven't had that a good time together. You know, they haven't had that good relationship for many years, even close to 8 years now. Things have been running very well in Edo State, and the people of Edo State have been very proud that at least their democracy is bearing dividends. They can see development back and front, as orchestrated by the governor of Edo State. Okay, the issue to those, you know, to those who are not aware, let me just give you touch a bit of what happened. You know, that's what we heard from both parties, from Obaseki and from Philip Shaibu. Okay, now Shaibu brought this thing to light that Obaseki is not including him in some of the management as a governor of deputy governor of Edo State, and that he is not aware of most of the things that are going on within the state, even in meetings. You know, he is not being called by the governor, and many other complaints, and because of that, you know, he decided to make a move. But what happened? He said, according to him, said maybe he tried to request from the governor, you know, how this thing, you know, if we could support him as the next governor of Edo State, and the governor did not, you know, react. The governor told him a different thing, because I'm going to say the side of the governor as well. The governor did not, you know, or the governor, let me just say, the governor is not ready to support him as the next governor of Edo State. So because of that, himself was aggrieved, and he decided to, you know, he was sort of having some assumptions, you know, or, you know, some thought that maybe they are not making a move to impeach him. According to him, that the House of Assembly is trying to, Edo State House of Assembly is trying to impeach him. And, you know, he has some other people on board as well, you know, the secretary to the state government, the chief judge of the High Court of Edo State, and the governor himself, and members of the House of Assembly. So he went to Abuja and to the High Court, and he went to lay a complaint there, maybe to, you know, seek an injunction to stop Edo State House of Assembly from impeaching him. And because of this, all these things were done, and now it came to light, and Obaseki got to know about what was going on. Obaseki now said, okay, if that is what you are doing, you left Edo State, you didn't go to the High Court. In the first case, Obaseki now said, okay, this is my side of the story. There was no time that Philip Shaibu told me about your ambition, that you know, that you want to go for the governor. All we discussed is that you know, he said how all you told him was how will the next this thing be, how will the next who is going to succeed him, who will succeed Godwin Obaseki as the governor. Then he now told Philip Shaibu that well, this is not the time to discuss this. There's time for everything. Yeah. When the time comes, we shall discuss this. He said that was all he discussed with Philip Shaibu. But what we are made to know, or what we are made to understand, is that Philip Shaibu said he asked if the governor could support him. I think there's a sort of there's a difference there, because that is why we have to be at the fence. You know, when it comes to judgment, But when it comes to making personal contribution, all of us, people have been talking, and personally, I also make my personal contribution recommendations. So, okay, now, all said and done, this was the something. Obaseki said, okay, let's wait. When the time comes, we are going to talk about that. But he said the deputy governor didn't wait at all, and he started making those moves, going to the court and saying all the, telling people, going to the public and saying all these things out. So Obaseki said he's so disappointed about what the deputy governor was saying, that, first of all, he never discussed that ambition with him. All they said was who's going to succeed him. He never ever asked him to, support him in this thing, that he refused, and there are many other things that even in the first case, we talked about that. So Governor Obaseki, has not been pleased with the situation, because he said, how could someone that you are a deputy governor, I have included you in the governorship of this state. Even when I travel, I make you the governor of a state, which does not actually happen in most other states in Nigeria. And that you are Philip Shaibu is well known as a deputy governor, just like a governor, because he is the most popular deputy governor in the whole country. He has extended his olive branch, apple, this thing to you, and you have enjoyed yourself. I've let you, serve as a full deputy governor. So with this kind of something, it seems like a betrayal. It seems that it's something like look treacherous. So he was just he made his comment that he's so embarrassed. He doesn't really he's not happy with the way the deputy governor has gone. But all said and done, many other people, they said they tried to make sure that, like the House of Assembly. I'm going to play something to you that you eat, because I'm not just talking for myself. I'm talking from some primary information from like the Edo State House of Assembly and something like that, and even something from Godwin Obaseki himself. So the videos are here where he personally made some of these points clear to everyone.
Let me put it very clearly on record that I am not aware of any plot or any scheme to impeach the Deputy Governor, Right Honourable Philip Shaibu. I have also checked, and there is no such plan, or there was no such plan.
So what many of us should understand is that in life, there are some desirables that are not achievable, and there are some achievables that are not desirable. So it cannot be as green as anything. There's always the darkness before light, and no matter how the case may be, when you know the root cause of a particular problem, you know how to make recommendations, or whatever recommendations you want to make or advice you want to make. You just have to make it, because in this case, this is something that concerns Edo State. We want the development of that state. That is what is at stake, the development of Edo State. So when there is trouble, when there is wahala in a state, you see, they cannot just bend down and make sure work for the state. We are not interested in individual. We are interested in the development, in the governance of Edo State, to make sure that we really enjoy the dividends of democracy to the end. Because if you look at what people did, the sacrifices that people did to make sure that this current administration, PDP, led by Governor Obaseki, came to power, it was a lot. People took a lot of risk. Some people spent a lot of money to make sure that we have this combination, this duo, Obaseki and Shaibu, to make sure that they retain that second term. And it should also be like that. So what I'm told, the first recommendation I'm going to make, because as I said, I'm not going to join anybody in this thing. So we know where this thing is going, the dice is going. You see, when the governor, this is just an analysis anyway. When the governor, when Philip Shaibu asked the governor, what is the next this thing, how is going to succeed you, and the governor now told the deputy governor that they should just leave that one first and they should focus on governance. If that is what exactly what happened, I don't think there's anything wrong in that, because the primary goal of a government is governance. It is not about, because we still have about 1 year to the election now, the governor of Edo State. So something like that shouldn't just disrupt or disturb the governance of Edo State. If the governor says, if the principal says, okay, now let us we have time to talk about this, so let us focus on governance first. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. If that is what actually transpired, let us focus on governance. If that's what transpired as the governor said it, I don't think there is anything wrong with that at all. That is what I would say. In the second place, see, Godwin Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, and the deputy governor, Right Honourable Philip Shaibu, they call themselves brothers. Godwin Obaseki will call Philip his brother, and Philip will call Obaseki his senior brother. That is the way it has always gone, and this is the way the relationship between both of them has been very cordial, and this thing has really helped the development of Edo State up to now for this almost 8 years that both of them are there. And we want this brotherhood to continue, because if you look at you see sometimes when you desire something, or when you are really focused on something, you don't even you do some odd things. Even during that time when they were campaigning, if you look at it about Philip Shaibu and his elder brother Oshomole, the former governor of Edo State, you see that even that time they were having some sort of wahala, so the sort of misunderstanding, let's put it like that, because they were not even in good terms, as could be seen, because of the integration between Obaseki and himself, because they wanted that session, that their term to succeed, and that is the way we also embrace them. It's not that they maybe they are quarreling, but politicians, they do one thing, they don't really they don't quarrel, but it may look as if people are quarreling. So that is that, so that brotherhood people should keep it and measure, so to measure that nothing is out of point. So if you look at another this thing, because that is why some people are now just saying that, how can this one just happen? Because it has not gotten to, according to Obaseki, it has not gotten to that. It has not gotten to that extent of maybe Philip Shaibu going to the court and just leaving the court of Benin and going to, and before going to Abuja to table this thing, because it would have been better if he has Philip Shaibu has taken that this thing. So if you also look at another this thing, let me just make another recommendation. You see, one thing is that people have to understand. Edo State has 3 geopolitical zones, and these 3 geopolitical zones, we have Edo South, which constitutes about 60% of Edo State. We have Edo North, which is where Philip Shaibu and Oshomole come from, I think, and then we have Edo Central. Okay, if you look at it, Adam Oshomole was a governor for 8 years, and that 8 years, Oshomole ruled very well and handed over recommended Obaseki, and which now translated to Obaseki and Philip Shaibu now being there. Okay, the point I want to make, it is according to Dr. Pedro, which is Obaseki's brother. He said that Shaibu and Adam Oshomole have the same father. Not by birth, but I think the father, Shaibu father adopted Oshomole. And now Oshomole is a brother on paper officially of Philip Shaibu. If you look at that, both Philip Shaibu and Oshomole, they are from the same state. They are from the same local government, Iyamo, which is Sako West or so. They are from Iyamo. If they are from Iyamo, okay, you look at it. Your brother just, was a governor for 8 years, yeah, and you still want to become a governor after your brother just finished 8 years ago. Yeah, or yes, just finished. He was a governor for some years ago. So if you look at it, it does not really play well because of these different sessions in Edo State. So it's something that has to be rotational. We have to, it's something that there should be fairness and equity. Yeah, there should be that kind of equality where you have to share. Because if it is like this, is because yeah, Wamagasi or CMA. If it is not, if this thing is not well rotated, it doesn't make any sense. Because like Edo State just produced the governor now, for instance, you see many people may just say, okay, let the governor go to another area, another geopolitical zone, maybe like the Asian side. Some people might just say that. I know that politics is a game of chess. Everybody you can play, put yourself inside. There's nothing that doesn't happen in Nigeria. Put yourself inside. Everybody is allowed to contest. You can't block anybody from contesting. But I need it to be more ideal if this kind of equity, this kind of equilibrium, this kind of equality, fairness is given to all the three geopolitical zones in Edo State. I think it's also it's not a point of thought that it's a recommendation from me that at least that would be if Philip Shaibu think about that, it will be a very good this thing, but because many people will also say it's think about something like that. You understand? So that is just the that is just that, because even based on the fact that Philip Shaibu went to the court in Abuja, because this is something that I know maybe he was afraid that something is going to happen, they're going to impeach him. That is why he went there. But I think it was just an assumption because according to even in that court, you may not have any paper to present that this is what is happening. This is what you just okay. This is it's an assumption. This is what I'm thinking. This is what they want to do to me. And the court of law, they don't things should not be based on assumption or I'm just thinking. So at least he would have Philip Shaibu would have at least tried to resolve this thing amicably at home, even within the state or within the government house, to make sure that all these things because there's always time to wait for anything that they need to wait for. But in all, what I'm advocating is that Philip Shaibu and the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, you two of you settle this thing amicably so that the governance of Edo State is ensured. That is what we voted for, and we want to make sure we continue to support you guys, two of you. We continue to support you in whatever area that any development in Edo State that the two of you are focused on. We continue to support you, and we want you to settle this thing amicably, and we don't want anybody to put fire or to ignite this issue. Thank you, and just share this. Okay, take care. Bye bye.